Coal plants shutting down early. Let's have a look. Hello everyone, Florian.heise here and welcome to another episode of HeiseSays. Grab your stein of coffee because we need to look at this article from Bloomberg presented on Yahoo Finance. So the biggest Australian coal plant to shut early as Renewables Surge. Renewables Surge. Now, here's a few points I want to raise. Now, the impact that humanity is having on the environment is a slow-moving issue, a slow-moving disaster. And I would argue, and history has shown, that with slow-moving disasters, humanity can adapt and deal with it. We've seen time and time again that the doomsayers have been wrong. Fearmongers, negative news, the world is coming to an end, the whole Greta cult. It really takes on this whole end times religious overtone. We have the exact same type of thing, like a cult who expect a UFO to arrive to pick them up in 2 years. The same level of irrational thinking. I would argue that within the next 50 to 100 years, technological development is going to most certainly address any of the environmental impacts that we will have. And I would bet money that nuclear or fusion is going to be the way that happens, not solar, not hydro, and not wind. Okay? That's what I would bet on. But, well, that's not where the propaganda is pushing, that's not where the political winds are moving, and that's not how businesses are responding. Remember, they need to maximize their revenue, and sometimes that involves following government subsidies. We've seen it happen in Victoria, where they had the whole solar panel rollout, the government is offering 50% discounts, and it kind of limited the entire industry to just how many lottery wins people get in half-price panels, because they'll wait for the next month to try their luck again. So they've kind of, these subsidies that were meant to help have kind of restricted and hamstrung that entire sector. So let's, before we even look at this article, I want to look at a few other things. We'll jump over here. This is coal price now. We're sitting at $232. Let's go to all of the data. Now back here in 2011, see when we're up here around 140, 150 USD, around about there, that's when we were working in coal mines. We've done Dornier, Caval Ridge, and we put a whole lot of proposals for different ones, and I can't even remember how many we did. It was great. It helped me start my firm, gave us a lot of experience in volumetric modular construction. But the coal price affected the quality of the design, the scale of the fit-out, and a lot of the camps that they did. Back then, it was interesting to see. Like, you'd see these really flash, crazy camps, and then you'd have to, gut them because coal has dropped. Now let's have a look. Right now we're sitting at $232.50. So coal is shooting right up there, guys. Doesn't seem like it's dead at the moment, does it? If we have a look here, this is the Australian energy market. And as I'm recording this at 11:30 at night, we can see where our energy is getting produced. Now in Victoria, we have all these X's there. They're wind turbines, 9%, 11%. 22%. This is the output of the actual capacity. So when they build these things and they say they've got 102 or 107 megawatts and they're only running at 24, well, there you go. You got some here, look, 0, 0, 0. Maybe they turn them off. What's going on with those ones? Or they're not reporting. And of course, all the solar, we can ignore that. But here you've got, Yalloon. Did I get that wrong? I probably got it wrong. 92%. Good old coal plant. Here's another one. Loy Yang, 117%. That are running. You've got some hydro here, which is great. Why are they all running at 0%, 15%, 52%? They're doing good. You've got more coal, a bit of wind, all in green. Green is bad, okay? That means it's not running at its efficiency. Here's the thing. When you are building a wind turbine, there is energy embodied in the construction of it. And these things only have a lifespan of 25 years. Now, if you're not running at a high enough output percentage, you will not get the efficiencies that they estimate in the original impact, because you need to make back all of the energy that was used for the construction, transportation, and end-of-life management of these things to make it viable. So that's why I'm skeptical. Because remember, these things are also, and they're not reliable. You can't turn them on and off. You're a slave to the wind. So then you've got other backup generation that you need. You need probably gas as well, gas turbines or batteries. Then the embodied energy gets even worse. because you've got to mine all these rare minerals. That, is it useful putting it in a battery station somewhere in the middle of nowhere, or in electronic devices that can actually do something, and you just use coal or maybe nuclear? And I know, here we go. Look at Queensland. There you go. 96%, 17%, 93%. How's our wind farm going? 73%. So that's going good. Look at that. 329 megawatts. So it's doing well. But Victoria ain't doing so well. And here in SA, well, only one's getting close to, look at that. Quarantine power station, 121%. So that's running red hot. So yeah. So let's have a look at this. So apparently renewables have surged at 6% hydro, 9% solar, and 9% wind. That doesn't seem like a surge, but anyway, because let's have a look here. Australia's biggest coal-fired power plant is set to close 7 years early. The latest fossil fuel retirement prompted by a surge of renewables that have driven down electricity prices. Origin Energy Limited could shutter the Eringring facility in a coal mining region north of Sydney as soon as August 2025. So let's jump over here again. So what is it? Eringring. Where are we? North of Sydney. Is that it? No, Bayside. There we go. It's running at 72%, producing 521 megawatts at the time of recording. Okay, there you go. There's a big one. Look at that. 521. So what do we got here? You've got a 20 megawatt wind farm, 59 megawatt wind farm, 14 megawatt wind farm, 17 megawatt wind farm. See, look, all of these wind farms, how many of them will need to add up to produce the same power as that coal plant? Look at the square meterage of land that it uses, the maintenance cost, then the embodied energy of all of these bloody things when you've got a facility here that you could use. But there's no incentive to invest in it and to maintain it because of the current political climate. Now, here's the thing. An example is, I remember working with people who always were frustrated, with using plastic cups and that type of stuff. And I'd explain to them, well, sometimes if you actually calculate the embodied energy in making a ceramic cup and then the heat that you had to use to clean it and the lifespan of one, in a commercial environment, it's probably better for the environment to actually use something that has a lower embodied energy like a plastic cup, and then you can recycle it for other products. Of course, they didn't seem to care about that. The optics were too bad. There's you need to take a bigger picture step back to understand what you're actually, the actual impact of what you're doing. And I find, well, the people who are sticking themselves to the road, they don't seem to have that impact. Or it's too, the nuance is beyond them. Maybe they just don't care. So it follows rival AGL Energy Limited, which last week announced plans to bring forward the closure of 2 of its coal plants. The reality is the economics of coal-fired power stations are being put under increasing unsustainable pressure by cleaner and lower cost generation, including solar, wind, and batteries. Frank Calabria, Origin's chief executive officer, said in a Thursday statement. Okay, how much, particularly the solar, how much of it is built in China? How much of that is ethical manufacturing? What about when they run out in 25 years? Is that putting us at a sovereign risk if we're dependent on the manufacturing of that in other countries? Maybe there'll be an Australian industry here. We won't get the economies of scale. Will that throw out the costs? What about all the subsidies that are going to the renewable sector? And I know people go, but Florian, there's all these subsidies to coal. Yes, yeah, they get a lot of subsidies with regards to not having to pay the fuel excise because their vehicles in the mines don't go on public roads. That seems fair and reasonable, doesn't it? A Sydney-based Origin is assessing plans to install a giant battery with a capacity of as much as 700 megawatts at the site, more than double the size of the country's largest existing facility. Okay, so a battery with 700 megawatts. And this, hang on, we'll jump here. What is their capacity right now? So their capacity is 720 megawatts. They're running at 72% output. So how are they going to charge the bloody thing during the day? I mean, is the solar and wind going to do it? Let's have a look here at energy production. We have a look down here. We'll go, let's turn off coal seam gas, waste coal, natural gas, black coal, more natural gas, diesel, grid, natural gas, kerosene. We'll see solar. So yeah, you've got a few gigawatts there you can produce, but a whole lot that's still produced by fossil fuels. I'm sure they know what they're doing. I'm sure they're not just following the latest trends. Origin's announcement is in line with a requirement to give 3.5 years notice before closing a major plant. The continued increase in renewable generation and strong uptake of rooftop solar is likely to worsen the attractiveness for existing coal and gas generators, Bloomberg said, NEF said Thursday. The early closure of Erring puts the affordability and reliability of the grid at risk, Energy Minister Angus Taylor said in a statement. Prime Minister Scott Morrison's government is a staunch supporter of fossil fuels. Yes, because they are reliable. They are reliable, guys. I've been looking at this for years now, and the number of times I check this out at random times, and they're producing very low power. You've got these ones here, okay? These are, you've got the gas stations. You'll see them in the city. They kick in when they need peak load, additional power to meet it. I remember when Victoria was having issues with brownouts, guys. And there was other talk of the issues that rooftop solar is causing, so they would cut your rooftop solar remotely. You almost want to get it set up as a separate circuit. The 288 megawatt black coal plant, about 120 kilometres north of Sydney, can meet around a quarter of the power needs of New South Wales, Australia's most populous state. It became fully operational in 1984. The proposed Erring battery would be 460 megawatts in its first phase, rising to 700 compared to AGL's plan for 850 megawatt battery by 2024 at the Little coal plant. Planned additional transmission capacity introducing the announced battery will give the state access to enough electricity generation to meet the energy security target at the time Erring closes, Daniel Westerman, the Chief Executive Officer of the Australian Energy Market Operator, said in a statement. So there you go. Let's have a talk about this one, guys. What do you reckon? Are you worried? I don't trust them in the slightest. Everyone, I think they're going to go through with it. I think all of like the new environmental score ratings for companies listed on exchanges, I think that's going to, be important. I think there'll be money to be made on the stock market, but I'm concerned with the long-term reliability of the energy from these renewable sources. I'd love to see Australia go down a nuclear path, but I don't think we have the political will to do it. I think too many people are too scared of the technology. They don't understand it. I don't think people realize what embodied energy actually is and the environmental footprint that a lot of these huge projects put. And how large a span of solar and wind farms you'll need to meet the capacity of one of these places. Oh, well. Maybe it's time to get the old Jenny going and hook it up. What do you reckon, guys? Let me know your thoughts on this one in the comments down below. Thanks for watching. And if you want to support the channel, there are a few ways you can. You can join us on YouTube or Patreon. Sign up for SelfWealth or Stake. Use our affiliate links at Amazon, eBay, Independent Reserve or AussieBroadband. Thanks for watching, everyone. And I want to point you to a recent video I did some time ago discussing just embodied energy and the concept with regards to wind turbines. Let me know if you're familiar with the topic, guys. Take care. Have a great day. I'll see you in the next episode of HeiseSays. Bye for now.